There are 7 wonders of the world, such as the pyramids, the Great Wall of China. But did you know there's an 8th wonder of the world? There is, and it's called compound interest. I searched high and low to find a reputable quote on compound interest. And the only one I could come up with was from some old scientist dude from the last century. You may have heard of him, Albert Einstein. Einstein allegedly said, "Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Not bad for a science geek, yeah? So here's a quiz to see if you understand this phenomenon that has old Al so fired up. No searching the internet for answers, no asking your buddies for help. This is all on you. Let's pretend Mr. Einstein has $100 in a retirement account, earning 5% interest. In 5 years, how much money will Al have in his account? $105, $125, or $128? Here's how compound interest works. At the end of year 1, you have $105 as expected. At the end of year 2, you might think you'd have just $110, but there's an extra 25 cents. That's interest, earning interest on itself. In year 3, there's now an extra 76 cents, and so on. By year 5, you might think you'd have $125 even, but with compound interest, there's an extra $2.63, or almost $128. That's not much. So now let's pretend that initial investment was $10,000 instead of just $100. By year 5, you have an extra $263 on top of $2,500 of earnings from the 5% interest. Now we're talking real moolah, and as you'll see, we're just getting started. If we continue our $100 example, by year 30, that $100 will grow to over $432. That's more than 3 times the initial investment. But most of the big growth takes place between years 20 and 30. The early years are the tough ones emotionally. Growth is difficult to see and feels very slow. So it's important to have a long-term perspective and plan, and then be patient and persistent. So when you're in your 20s and 30s, time has the biggest impact on your retirement account balances. More time, more money. Even when you're in your 40s and 50s and 60s, you may still have decades for your retirement money to grow after you retire. If Einstein were here, what conclusion would he draw from all this? Start sooner rather than later, because time is on your side. Of course, being a scientist, no doubt he would want some sort of graphic proof. So let's take a look at this. Let's start with Julie. Julie saves from age 25 to 65 and earns a hypothetical 6.5% rate of return on her investments. She's going to save 15% of her salary, all during those years. By the time she reaches age 65, she has more than $1 million in her retirement account. Sally, on the other hand, gets a bit of a late start. She starts at age 35, earns the same rate of return, saves until 65. She winds up with more than $600,000. That's not bad at all, of course, but she gave up nearly $400,000 of earnings she could have had if she just started sooner. Linda, on the other hand, is pretty late to the party. She starts at age 45. Realizing she needs to make up some lost ground, she actually saves 20% of her salary. By the time she's 65, she has more than $440,000 in her account. Again, not bad. But what if she'd started 10 years sooner or even 20 years sooner? To see how compound interest can work for your situation, check out our Savings Plan's Future Values Calculator. Now that you understand how compound interest works, young grasshopper, what are you going to do about it? You could keep doing the same old, same old. As Einstein said, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Or increase your payroll deduction into your retirement savings plans at MyURS. Now that's a capital idea, pardon the pun. Or buy a poster of Einstein, or maybe even somebody smarter than him. My advice? Be like Al. Take advantage of the eighth wonder of the world and put compound interest to work for you. You'll thank yourself, Albert, and me.